What is going on, everybody? This is Football Exclusive, and welcome back to another college football predictions video. And we're getting ready to do the South Carolina Gamecocks. And South Carolina looks like a pretty solid team. Missed out on a bowl game last year, but they did upset Georgia, which was huge. And if you checked out my top upsets video, I believe I had them at number 1. So anyway, this year they look pretty solid. They lost some weapons. Javon Kinlaw, I think the D tackle, is their main guy. Was a first-round pick in the NFL draft. That's a big name, but still, their D line is still really solid. So not all is to be lost there. South Carolina's a pretty solid defense. Ryan Hilinski, he's not a bad quarterback. So they still have weapons around the team. So you look at their schedule. They start off with Coastal Carolina. You can already give them the win there. Same as well with East Carolina. I just don't think those two teams will be able to compete against South Carolina, give them any trouble. So I do think South Carolina will start off 2-0. And then you got Missouri. Missouri, they kind of struggled a lot last year. Their quarterback went down with an injury. So that really hurt them a lot, and they missed out on the bowl game. Even though they were 6-6, they weren't bowl eligible. But Missouri, I don't think will improve this year. I still think they will have a down year. Even though they still went 6-6, I just don't think they're going to get better. So I do have South Carolina winning this game. I think their D-line can make some plays, and Missouri just lost quite a bit. So I don't think Missouri will win that game. Then at Kentucky is getting better. Kavosiey Smoke, I think is his name. I know it's Smoke, but their running back, I know him. He's really good. Terry Wilson, he's pretty solid. So Kentucky has a pretty good offense, I think. If you looked at them last year, they were a running team. So they didn't really pass a lot, but they got Terry Wilson and Kavosiey Smoke. And I think they will give South Carolina's defense some trouble. And I do think Kentucky's defense will be able to hold Hilinski. So I do have Kentucky winning that game. Close, though. And it's also on the road, so it makes it even tougher on South Carolina. And then at Florida, Florida is just going to be a better team. Kyle Trask, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. Definitely competing against there, but that's for another video. Best quarterbacks in the SEC, that's coming out soon. But at Florida, I think Kyle Trask is really good. I think Florida is going to be competing for the East, so I do have Florida winning that game. Tennessee, that's a big game for South Carolina and the Vols. This is a potential swing game. It could go either way. It's not really a must-win, but it's like it gives you comfort in your season win, I guess, motivation. But the Vols, they have quite a bit, but they also lost a ton. If you look at who they lost, Darrell Taylor is the big guy. Also, their wide receivers. So Vols lost a lot on offense. They have a ton of quarterbacks, so that's going to be something interesting they're going to have to try to figure out. They also lost their running back, Tim Jordan. He's not really an impact because he was behind Eric Gray and Ty Chandler as well. But I do think South Carolina's D-line will give Tennessee some trouble, even though I'm a Vols fan. I try not to be biased. So realistically, I think that Tennessee will lose that game. Close, so I see it going either way. But it's at South Carolina. Great D-line. Tennessee lost a lot. So I think South Carolina's defense gets them the win there, but I can see it go either way. Texas A&M is going to be really good this year. They have a pretty good quarterback. So I think A&M will win that game. Texas A&M is going to be one of the better teams in the SEC. At Vanderbilt's just not good year in, year out. I think it was like 2 years ago when they might have made a bowl game a couple years ago, but I don't really remember. I think they did finish 6-6 or somewhere around there. But even though it's on the road, I have South Carolina winning that game and bouncing back from a 4-game losing streak, and then they finally get their next win. And then you got the Georgia Bulldogs. I think Georgia will win that game, even though it's at South Carolina, even though South Carolina pull off the upset. And I just think Georgia will still be good. I think South Carolina just had the better game plan and was just the better team that day. But overall, you can't not admit that Georgia is way more talented than South Carolina is. Georgia just has a lot more talent over them. At LSU lost a lot as well. Joe Burrow, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Justin Jefferson. You can name a lot. I mean, LSU had a lot of star players, and even though it's also on the road, makes it even tougher. They're playing at Death Valley. I'm just going to go ahead and say that I think LSU will win that game comfortably. And then Wofford, if you even say that right, it's a no-name school that I can think of, FCS. So South Carolina should definitely all day win that game. At Clemson, Trevor Lawrence, that's all I can say. National contenders. So I think Clemson will win that game at home. So I think Clemson will also take care of business on South Carolina. So South Carolina didn't finish too bad, finishing the season 6-6. So not too bad. You made a bowl game. Good job. So that's not a bad season. You're going in the right direction. You're doing better than you did last year. You maybe even get another upset in there. But I can honestly, the Tennessee game, I could see that going either way. Maybe you lose that game and finish 5-7 again. You know, so that's another thing you also got to look at is what games they will potentially lose in. And the games I listed, well, I could also see them beating Kentucky. I could also see them beating Tennessee, which I think will happen. Maybe you even lose both games, or maybe you win both. I don't know. That's just what I think. I think you'll win one of the two big games, in my opinion, that you actually have a shot in. I don't think you'll beat Florida, Georgia A&M, nor Clemson. So that's all I have for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. So leave a like and comment down below your predictions, and subscribe if you didn't already if you like college football content. This is the channel for you, and I'll do a better job of uploading more. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.